It was early Christmas morning. My sister Susan and I sat in the sitting room, me in my pajamas and Susan in her nightie. Mother sat by the Christmas tree and handed us our gifts one by one. I was already overwhelmed by all the gifts I'd received so far, and eagerly took the next parcel. "These are from Aunt May," Mum said. We both said thank you as we read the gift tag before unwrapping them. The moment I saw the fabric I knew something was wrong. "Mum, I think she got the name tags mixed up," I said as I unwrapped the gift further and noticed it was definitely meant for a girl. "This must be Susan's present." "What is it?" "Let me see," Mum replied as I fully unwrapped the dress and held it up. It had everything that a boy hates about girls' clothes: little puffed sleeves with lace edging, a lace-edged collar, a wide ribbon at the waist and tiny white flowers all over its powder blue-colored fabric. I pulled a puke face as I looked to Mother for reassurance, only to see a huge grin sweep her face. Of course she didn't get the tags mixed up. "Yours is obviously the blue one and Susan's is pink," she stated as my head slowly turned towards my sister and the pale pink dress on her lap. "And I can't wait to see you both wearing them," she gushed, clasping her hands. "But this can't be for me, Mum," I pleaded. "It's a dress." "And a very pretty one," she smiled. "And I'm sure Aunt May spent quite a lot of money on it." "But it's horrible," I claimed. "It's nicer than mine," said Susan, adding marginally. "But you're a girl," I replied. "You're supposed to like dresses." "When do I ever wear a dress?" Susan replied. She had me there, she never wears dresses either. I gulped and cast my eyes over my dress with its little puffed sleeves and little lace-trimmed collar. "I hate it," I sulked. "It's the worst present ever." "Me too," my sister agreed. "I can't stand dresses. Especially pink ones." "Now stop being so ungrateful, the pair of you," Mum snapped. "What do you think Aunt May would say if she heard you?" I shrugged and glanced at my sister, who wore a similar disappointed expression. "But why did she buy me a dress?" I asked, feeling myself begin to well up. "Probably to match your sister's," Mum replied, glancing at her watch. "Anyway, she'll be here in a couple of hours, so you can ask her yourself when you're both wearing them." I gulped. "You mean I have to wear it?" "Of course you do," Mother replied as I looked fearfully at the dress. "She didn't spend all that money just for them to hang in your wardrobes." My sister and I glanced at each other. The look of dread on her face echoed the fear I felt in my gut. I glanced at my mother, hoping she'd say she was only teasing. "There's nothing to worry about," she smiled. "You might even like it once it's on." "That's what I'm afraid of." Mum grinned at me. "It's just a dress, Peter. It won't miraculously turn you into a girl. You'll still be a boy underneath it." But nothing. "Now can we stop this complaining, please?" she asked. "It's Christmas Day and you're being very ungrateful. Now unless you show a little more gratitude, I'll put your other presents back in the loft," she threatened, looking at the large pile of normal gifts I'd already unwrapped. "You can't do that," I snapped. "Don't tempt me," Mother replied in her most threatening voice. I looked at my large pile of books and games, model kits, and items of boys' clothing. I dreaded the thought of having them all confiscated more than I dreaded wearing a dress. "Sorry," I muttered. "Good," Mum replied sharply. "Now, shall we unwrap the rest of your presents?" She gave us each a hard stare. "Without you two turning into spoilt little brats." I nodded hesitantly. "Good." I looked at my sister, who smiled back through pursed lips. I guess she empathized, as the style of dress was far too girly even for her. Mum turned her attention to the remaining gifts beneath the tree, selected a couple and passed one to each of us. "These are from me," she said. I nervously reached out for the gift, but Mother pulled it back. "What do you say?" she asked. "Thank you." I replied in unison with my sister before removing the pale pink ribbon and slowly tearing the wrapping paper open. "I do hope you like them," said Mum as I pulled away the tissue to reveal a pair of white frilly knickers and a matching vest. Both items had pale blue trim, supposedly to match the dress. Speechless didn't come into it. I croaked, before forcing out the words, "Thank you." I glanced at my sister who'd unwrapped the same, only hers had pink trim. "At least they're not pink." "Don't you want to swap?" grinned my sister. I shook my head and looked towards my mother. I wanted to ask her why, but instead I forced a smile. "Are you ready for the next one?" she asked, hiding something behind her back.